Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. Now, itchy nose. Constantly itchy noses and faces because cats. So, today I'm doing... Audra, you know what I'm doing. There are times... so many times when I Marco Polo Audra and in the middle of a sentence I'm just like, my whole face is itchy. Okay. So today I am here with a video that is all about what I would keep if I could only keep 10 makeup products from my current collection. Now, this kind of video was a little bit of a challenge because, well, single eyeshadows, they are my love. They are everything to me. But they kind of would fill up all 10 spots really quickly. So I was only pulling from palettes and everything else in my collection. But to eliminate all my singles in one fell swoop was very, very sad. Although I did do a video a couple months back, maybe more than a couple months, in collaboration with Kara C, that was if we could only keep 20 of our single eyeshadows. That list might have changed nowadays because my collection has grown, but I will link it in the cards if you want to see that. But this video is not going to be about singles. It's going to be about kind of everything else in my collection if I can only pick 10 products. I don't know who started this video concept. I know I've seen a lot of people do it, so I don't really have a source. If I'm successful in looking into this, I will include something on the screen. Otherwise, just know that I've seen many people that I love and appreciate and respect do this video. Now, okay, we're gonna knock out like half of the list with some boring basics that I still want, you know? I mean, yeah. This idea is that, I mean, if it's not perfect, if it's not like abundantly clear, it's you're looking through your collection, you're picking your 10 things that are not just like 10 favorites, but, you know, kind of like a full face with, I guess, as many versatile favorites as you have. I did do a video featuring all of the products. I will also have that link down in the cards and in the description box. It was a collaboration with Yoga with Mo last week that was a full face of makeup while making our favorite meal in the Instant Pot. And I did film that video. I did film this video with that face on, but I felt like I was pretty scattered. So I'm back to refilm. I can't say I'm mentally any less scattered, but I did learn from my last filming session. So, okay, I said I was going to start with the basics. Let's jump in. Now, I'll be honest, I debated on including a mascara because there are many times where I'm totally okay with not having a mascara, like on my eyes. But I also do feel like it kind of completes the look. So I am going to include, this is the Essence Lash Princess Waterproof. I talk about it all the time. It's my favorite drugstore mascara. I don't really indulge in expensive mascaras. I prefer waterproof mascaras. If you've been around, you've heard all this before. If you haven't, there's a little mascara primer about me. So number one goes to the mascara. Number two goes to another thing that you see me using anytime I put makeup on camera, and that is the NYX glitter primer. This is my go-to for any shimmer, glitter, honestly anything shiny, sparkly. This goes down first. I usually do a thin layer, you know, I use it on my lids, I use it a little bit on my inner corner, I'll use it on my lower lash line. If I wanted to apply glitter, I don't use a lot of loose glitter directly on my lid, but if I wanted to apply it like on the brow bone or on the cheekbone, I would probably use this, unless it was like super big and chunky glitter, and that's a different story. But I use this every time I put on makeup. It's an absolute love. Oh, and just in case anyone's curious, this look is the first 2 of 4 planned looks I'm doing with the Kaleidos Escape kit collection. So that video will be up definitely after this one, but I will link it when it is live. Otherwise, just keep your eye out on the channel. Third thing in the list, another boring but necessary product in my book, and that is the a brow gel. My current favorite is Uoma Beauty, their blowout brow gel, because it's what's in my brows today, so it gives me color and hold. I can like fill in the gaps or even draw on a bit of a tail with it, but I can also brush it through and get some hold on my brow hairs. I'm always on the hunt for like the perfect brow product, and for me that's a gel. I am tempted to try Patrick Ta tinted brow wax though. If y'all have any opinions on that, you can leave it in the comments. Thank you. But brow gels are just my favorite thing. I don't have a lot of patience for my brows, so this one is just, like I said, it's a solid mix of pigmented and has some hold to it. So that is the third product in the list. Now, so fourth up, again, a lot of these are like, I just definitely know I want them. And that is going to be a concealer. My surprise, shock, holding favorite is the e.l.f. Camo Conceal. Actually, the Hydrating Camo Conceal. I have it in Fair Warm. It's a fairly hydrating concealer. I feel like the doe foot holds on a lot of product. I can use this on my face to kind of like spot build some coverage. It smells a little funky, I'll be honest. But I also use it under my eyes. That's the color. So it's a surprise favorite. I wasn't expecting much, I'll be honest. It's e.l.f. I generally don't expect much from e.l.f. That's all the shade. But it just feels really nice on the under eyes. Now I do have a concealer coming my way that has a lot of hype that might like boot this off of the top runner, but yeah, I was debating between this one and the Milani one, but the Milani is a little bit drier, and I just feel like this is continuing to be my go-to. As another mini review, the Uoma Beauty concealer, the Stay Woke concealer, they kind of remind me of each other, this and the Uoma Beauty. I don't have like final thoughts on the Uoma Beauty formula, but this is a better color for me. This is also why I picked it for this list. So that's a lot of the like, actually no, well, yeah, that's a lot of the boring basics down. Does it seem to have like 40% of your list as basics? It does, but I understand how faces work and the kind of makeup I like to wear. Speaking of another thing that's a color product but a little bit on the basic side, is my lip choice. Now, I went into this thinking, well, I'm obviously gonna have skincare. That I don't have to pick from. So like, I'm making an assumption that I'm gonna have lip balm. So outside of lip balm, I decided that I would pick the Lip Bar Baby Bellini lipstick. There's the swatch. I don't have it on right now, but I'm going to throw it on top of this lip gloss. So this is just this is one of those formulas that's just a nice balance of creamy and pigmented. It's a nice peachy neutral on me. It doesn't lean too pink. It doesn't lean too orange or yellow. It's just a really versatile color, and I know that I'm more of a bold eye kind of lover, so I was willing to pick a color that would kind of go with everything, and to me this color is one of them. This, or like my bare lips with just a bunch of lip balm to look super glossy. So that is number 5 on the list. Now, blush was a tricky one. I knew I wanted it to be a Cover FX blush. I just knew it. And I debated a long time, but I have an eyeshadow palette that kind of helped me sway myself. So I picked Warm Honey, which is a surprise to you and me both. But Warm Honey is a color that actually works for me. I use it as a blush, but it has a slight bronziness to it on my skin, so I could see myself also using this and getting more of a bronzer effect rather than blush. I love the formula of the duos. I love the matte side, I love the glowy side, I love them together. So this was my choice. When it came down to picking just 10 products, I just went with one blush, and this was it. I know, just one blush, but I love my Soap Bar blush. For highlighters though, 2 spots on the list went to highlighters. Now, the first one I'm going to show, some people might consider it cheating. I definitely didn't want to include a full face palette and eye palettes in this list, because I felt like that was pushing it a little bit. So like the Natasha Denona Daria palette that I have that has 3 blushes, 3 highlighters with a mix of cream and powders, counting that as one product, that's a little much. But counting this as one product, is that okay? So this is the Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. I've just talked about this in my favorites video. I mean, it's freaking gorgeous. I love the pink and the yellowy tones. I think that the pink and yellow tones in particular also can get mixed together on my face and be pretty neutral. The bronze is like a little deep, and I think I would use it almost like as a blush topper or a bronzer topper. I just really enjoy these shadows, these powders. Not sure what all you can see. I really, it's like glossy, glassy, wet. Again, I'm not wearing it today. I did wear it in the full face, I called it dinner and a look video, so you can see it there. I feel like I might have worn it in a couple of other videos before, but it's beauty. Now if somebody now if somebody said, nah bitch, that's cheating, you have to pick like a single pan highlighter, then I would probably pick Star Surfer from Kaleidos, which is from their first highlighter release. This is like a icy white, but not icy white, icy pink, but it's a little bit of like a warmer tone pink, but it's still icy. Should I swatch it? I'll dig it out because it's not actually in this packaging. I depotted it. This is just the little cute tin. So that's the powder itself, and then I put it in the most awkward spot possible. Yeah, you can see that. So it's a pink that's a little warmer probably than, yeah, it definitely looks on my hands a little bit warmer than the Hourglass one, but it's not, but it still has that light pink kind of color to it. I love like icy pink highlighters on me. So I was really kind of like browsing my collection, and I thought about, because I thought about this, I'm like, if I didn't pick the Hourglass one, what would I pick? And that would definitely be a choice, but the Hourglass one is at the top. Now I also grabbed I reserved another spot on the list for an highlighter, and this spot goes to Synopsis from JD Glow. So this is their compact, which actually I think is pretty cute. I am a just fanatic for green highlighters on me. Just, I don't think you're gonna be able to really see that. That's it on my finger. Anyway, I just love that like slutty alien glow. Thank you, Teresa, for that phrase that I will always use those words in a different mix of order. I'll always use those words in some order to describe like the perfect glow on me, and it's definitely a green glow. I just love green. I'm gonna blame my like yellow olive undertones with my pale ass skin. So that is the 8th spot on the list. Now the last 2 spots were they go to eyeshadow palettes for sure. So I wanted to really get a range of colors. Now most of my color really is in my single shadow collection. So I was a little torn on how to best get most colors represented. I don't think I did the best job, but from the palettes that I have in my collection, because I don't really have a lot of traditional rainbow palettes, I decided I would include the Smoky Glow X Midas Cosmetics palette. So this one is like the pinky purpley with a splash of red and coral color story, with some really pretty shimmers, especially Nutty and Lino. Some of the other shimmers are a little bit more soft or more muted in tone. Like Friends and Group Chat, definitely more of a soft shimmer, but these could also be used as a glowy highlighter, a glowy blush or highlighter. And that was also why I pulled this, because all of these matte pinky tones, I've used Colleague as a blush. I feel like I could use Jump Cut. Obviously you would have to use a light hand, but I would totally and have totally played with these with blush draping. So besides the fact that the matte formulas are just stunning, there's some nice shimmers and a mix of colors, purples and pinks and a little red and a little coral, and the golds and the browns I'm like less keen on, but even Dofa, I don't know what that noise was, but Dofa is the smoky eye that I need and want in my life. So yeah, I felt like of all of the palettes I have in my collection, this had the most options and the most assortment of colors and textures that I'm excited for. Well, yeah, no, this is the most versatile, but the last spot on the list you probably won't be surprised by if you've been around much, and that is the gold palette. And I'm not even like a freak for gold specifically, but there's something about this palette. I rearranged it to be a little bit more cohesive in my eyes. There's something about these 4 shades in this middle row, and the mustard matte, and the way the matte mustard and the turquoise blend together to get the grungy green that I love. Yeah, so even though like straight up gold is like kind of whatever to me, I don't know, I just keep coming back to this palette, and I do think it has some repetition, and I'm not saying that like everyone needs it. I don't know, when I was looking at my collection, I felt like realistically I didn't have that many palettes where I'm just like, hell yeah, I want to keep that. Besides like all my little 6-pan Kaleidos palettes, if I'm being honest, and some other ones here and there. But this one, I was just like, oh fucking course I would keep this one. I would keep this one for damn sure. So yeah, and I honestly think between Smoky Glow and Mrs. Gold, I do have a fair amount of repetition because Smoky also has some gold happening, but I like the pinks and the turquoise and the purples, and so those were my choices. Now, those are the 10 things I would keep if something happened and I could only keep 10 things in my current collection. But you know me, I'm indecisive. I'm not a Libra, as like Teresa and Paige of Seeking Alexandria would claim. I'm not a Libra, but I'm an indecisive person. So I decided I would pick 5 runner-up products. And this is why, if anybody cares, is why I'm refilming this, because I decided when I did the video first time that I would like intersperse them throughout the video, and then by the end I felt like that was confusing as hell. So we're talking about them all right now. So the first thing I wanted to add was the Becca color corrector, or just any kind of light bright color corrector. I think so I really liked this a while back, and then I got it again, and then I was like, I don't know what I think about this, but I've discovered that if I remember to put this down first, if I'm putting on a BB cream or any kind of foundation on top and I put this down first, sometimes if I do that, I don't need another concealer. I can't wear this on its own. It's too pink. It's too different from my own skin tone. But if I just layer, I've done it with the CoverGirl Skin Milk, and I've done it with some other things here and there. So I don't know. I just I need to get more use out of this, and I just think it's probably a better product than I gave it credit to in the last couple months. So I'm going to include that one. That's the first. Now I definitely wanted to include another lip product, and because I was missing the more pinky tones, I decided I would pull in Love of My Life from Lisa Eldridge. So this one is the more glossy of the three pink colors that I got from Lisa Eldridge. The formula I'm still getting to know a little bit, but I do find that it's buildable. I think that it's really pretty on the lips. It's not quite as like maybe slippy, shiny as some balm sticks or glossy lipsticks I've gotten recently are, but I think it's just a nice color to have. I could even see myself playing around with this one and actually Baby Bellini as cream blushes. That would be interesting to try out. So I decided I definitely wanted another lip product to play with. So that would be, if I'm doing a top 15, Becca was number 11 and this would be number 12. Now I'm a little too lazy to dig it out, but I decided that number 13 on the list I was going to give to perhaps a less exciting thing, but I would give it to the Hourglass Veil Loose Setting Powder, because again, I have to think about realistically, if I'm trying to use cream blush, like lipsticks as cream blushes, or I'm doing like that dewy concealer all over, I may just want a little bit of powder. And it's like my current, I don't really reach for powder, but if I was going to, that would be the first one I would reach for. So it's the only one I could really in good conscience pick. Now number 14, I just kind of made a little adjustment, and I decided after using it just now in my waterline, the Fenty is it the Flyliner? Fenty Beauty Fly Pencil Longwear Pencil Eyeliner in Lady Lagoon. This color is just amazing. I have it in this waterline. It's the matte formula of this Fly Pencil. It's super duper creamy, easy to apply. I don't know. I think I'm just a expensive eyeliner bitch. I've tried so many budget brands, but the Fenty matte formula and the Marc Jacobs matte formulas have been my top favorite, and I want them to release more colors. Can someone please release a true grass green eyeliner for me? That's for the waterline, please. Anyway, so that's number 14. It's very specific, but I love a pop of color in my lower, like in my waterline. And I don't have any blue eyeshadows specifically in the palettes that I picked out. Well, except for the, never mind. But I figured it would work nicely as like a contrasting color. Now for the 15th spot, I kind of debated. These were both palette runners up in my like searching. So I guess I'm just going to show you both because I can't decide. So the two that I was like debating about between, I guess the 4 in total I was thinking about. The third of the 4 is the Lunar Beauty Moonspell. And if I'm being completely honest, it's not even that I'm like, oh my god, every formula in here is fucking amazing. I just think of my color options in my collection, this is one of the prettiest color stories. And the formulas are pretty solid. They're just not like, I don't reach for this palette that much. It's a pretty palette. I just Again, it's my singles. I love my singles. But like Bonnie is one of the prettiest matte greens I have. Like I keep trying to dupe it out. I keep trying to dupe it out and I can't. I actually forget how pretty Mary is. I even like some of the satiny shades in here, like Piper. So I do need to play with this more. So yeah, I would say I'm technically picking 6 runners up instead of 5, but this one was in the running. I felt like with the gold palette and with the Smoky Glow palette that I kind of had most of these colors covered, but like the greens, I'm a fan. So yeah, that was one of the runners up or in competition. And the other palette that was in the runner up spot, because it is one of the most colorful palettes in my collection, is the Pastel Pup palette. So I love pastel colors, and on me, on my skin tone, pastels usually read pretty bright on me. Like they're not it's not like they're like bright like a grass green or a, you know, red like this, but the color shows up. And I'm gonna block out the bottom 2 spots because that's technically not the palette, but the rest of the colors, I had my issues with the brand because of things, but I do like this palette. Yeah, so like this was a weird one. I was like, I don't know if I want to include it, but I just think realistically, like having these colors as another layer to what I have already pulled out, like this has some more of the greens that I love, a blue, like some of the more purples that are not so pinky purple. So I just wanted to give a little nod to this one. So yeah, I guess that would be if I could keep 16 products. But you know, you saw the top 10. Those are the true number 1 through 10, I guess. And yeah, that's my list. I would love to hear what you think about the products that I picked out. I would love to hear from you what you would pick. Even if you just want to share one of 10 products that instantly pops into your head, I would love to hear that. I am copying this idea from Audra, and I will have a pinned comment, and I would love for you to tell me at least one. You can list all 10 if you want, but at least one product that you would keep from your collection right now if you for some reason had to just pick 10 products to keep. And let me know if you like these kinds of videos. I know there's other options out there, like if I had to start my collection over from scratch, what 10 things would I buy, or like one from each product category, like what would I buy that I don't already own. A lot of these like you're losing all your products, what would you do kind of videos. Do you like these? Do you not care? Just let me know. And I would love for you to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Follow along with these colorful shenanigans. Also, definitely find me over on Instagram and Twitter at Nomnivorous. I have a Patreon, and I want to thank my patrons so much. I'm so awkward whenever I do this, but I truly appreciate y'all beyond words. And if you're interested in checking out my Patreon, it's linked in the description box. Everything's gonna be linked down there, including what's on my face, what I talked about today, other videos I mentioned. So please, please, please go check it out. That's my passive aggressive way of saying please use the work that I do. Speaking for all YouTubers. Anyway, since I'm officially getting awkward, I'm always awkward, whatever, I'm gonna end it out here. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. I hope to see you again real soon. And please stay safe, wear your masks, and remember Black Lives Matter. And also arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Bye, friends.